I haven't written a lot of Ohio State basketball stories this year, but the one I wrote was how the bench doesn't score, and then the bench started scoring. Ohio State, a big win over Iowa, 82-64, and the bench is we know they had roles defensively and doing some stuff, but can this bench, led by Micah Potter, who had 10 against the Hawkeyes, can they actually put points on the board as part of what they're doing? And overall, is this bench going to be good enough? But first, do you think the scoring is legitimate?
Yeah, I do. I think something that's happened with the group as a collective is I think offensively they were a little uncomfortable, like what they were allowed to do, what they should do within this system. But like Micah Potter is a pretty good offensive player, a pretty good scorer. He has problems in the post every now and then, but he's a pretty good scorer. Andre Weston, who's starting now but wasn't a bench role, is a pretty good three-point shooter. Musa Jallow is very athletic and like a marginal three-point shooter, but every now and then he gets on a hot streak. And I think they're just starting to understand that, which is why you saw Musa Jallow shoot very confidently against Purdue. And he had 10 points, and then he didn't shoot very confidently today because he just wasn't in positions and he didn't force anything. So I think those guys not forcing things and not like trying to become scorers outside of the flow of the game is like the biggest step they've made here in the last 3-4 games.
I mean, they helped win the game against Purdue, obviously. In that game, Andre Wesson and Musa Jallow both scored in double figures. Andre Wesson before that had not scored more than 3 in a Big Ten game. Musa Jallow had not scored more than 2 in a Big Ten game.
Musa Jallow hadn't scored in 9 games.
So is that, I guess the question then about the bench is that kind of thing, again, they were good against Iowa again today, but like what they wouldn't have beaten Purdue if the bench didn't do that. Right. But can this team count on this from the bench, or is that more of an aberration? And in the end, is this bench just still going to be guys who sort of fill their roles, or are they going to get better and better over the last couple weeks of the season?
No, I'm not going to say they're going to score. They think they combined for 22 points against Iowa, and Iowa's a terrible defensive team. So I'm not going to say bank on that, but I will say this. I think they're better offensively than maybe we were giving them credit for as a group. And I also think that what's transpired over the last couple of games with Cam Williams suspended, I think Andre Wesson might have solidified a spot in the starting lineup, and I think that's okay because that means Cam Williams goes to the bench, and then you have instant offense off the bench. So I think the whole result of all this is that your bench is going to get better.
He's Bill. I'm Doug. The Ohio State Buckeyes first place in the Big Ten. Next game Thursday at Penn State. See ya.